Uncover the mysterious story of the Mary Celeste, a merchant ship that was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872 with no signs of its crew on board. The Mary Celeste set sail from New York Harbor on the 7th of November 1872 with a crew of 7 on board. The ship was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean on the 5th of December 1872 with no signs of its crew on board. The Mary Celeste was in good condition, with no signs of damage or struggle, and all of its sails were still intact. The crew's personal belongings, including their valuables, were still on the ship, ruling out the possibility of theft or mutiny. The only signs of anything amiss were a disarrayed life raft and a few scratches on the ship's rail, sparking theories of a sudden panic. Get fit while walking backwards with me. Walking backwards engages your core muscles up to 25% more than walking forwards. The backwards workout challenge targets your gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in your buttocks. Reversing your stride improves balance and reduces the risk of knee injuries. Backwards walking can burn up to 40% more calories than traditional walking. The challenge also strengthens your calf muscles, essential for ankle stability. Incorporating backwards exercises into your routine can improve overall athletic performance. From Anderson Silva's failed drug test to TJ Dillashaw's EPO scandal, we dive into the most notorious cheats in UFC history. The UFC's first drug testing program was introduced in 2015, aiming to curb performance-enhancing drug use. Anderson Silva, a UFC legend, was suspended for 1 year in 2015 after testing positive for anabolic steroids. TJ Dillashaw, a former bantamweight champion, was banned for 2 years in 2019 for using recombinant human erythropoietin, EPO. EPO, a banned substance, increases red blood cell production, giving athletes an unfair endurance advantage. In 2019, the UFC partnered with the United States Anti-Doping Agency, USADA, to strengthen its anti-doping program. Since 2015, over 50 UFC fighters have been suspended or fined for violating the promotion's. Discover how the Pygmalion Effect, a type of self-fulfilling prophecy, affects student performance, as seen in the famous Rosenthal-Jacobson study, where teachers' expectations boosted students' IQ scores by 15 points. The Pygmalion Effect is a self-fulfilling prophecy where high expectations lead to improved performance. In 1966, Rosenthal and Jacobson conducted a study to test the Pygmalion Effect on student performance. Teachers were told that certain students were intellectually gifted, although this was randomly assigned. The study found that these gifted students showed a 15-point increase in IQ scores over the course of a year. The Pygmalion Effect works because positive expectations influence teacher behavior, which in turn affects student motivation. In 2007, Chinese Judge Di, a prominent figure in Qing dynasty China, mysteriously vanished while walking home, leaving behind only rumors and speculation. Judge Di was a renowned magistrate in Qing dynasty China, known for his fairness and wisdom. In 2007, Judge Di mysteriously disappeared while walking home from a meeting at night. He was 60 years old when he vanished, leaving behind a wife and children. Despite being a high-profile figure, no ransom demands or foul play were reported. The investigation found no signs of struggle or evidence of forced disappearance. To this day, Judge Di's fate remains a mystery, sparking numerous speculations and rumors. In 1918, the USS Cyclops, a U.S. Navy collier, disappeared while traveling through the Bermuda Triangle with 306 people on board, never to be seen again. The USS Cyclops was a U.S. Navy collier that sailed through the Bermuda Triangle in 1918. The ship had 306 people on board, making it a significant loss if it were to sink. The USS Cyclops was 517 feet long and had a top speed of 15 knots when launched in 1910. The ship departed Rio de Janeiro on the 4th of March 1918 and was never seen or heard from again. The U.S. Navy officially listed the USS Cyclops as stricken from the Navy list in 1919. The mystery of the USS Cyclops' disappearance remains one of the Bermuda Triangle's most enduring unsolved cases. Discover how Napoleon Bonaparte's disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812 led to the downfall of his empire, with over 300,000 casualties and a retreat in the harsh Russian winter. Napoleon's invasion of Russia in 1812 was the largest military operation in history at the time. The French army, initially 680,000 strong, was vastly outnumbered by Russia's scorched earth tactics. The Russian winter, with temperatures as low as -30 degrees Celsius, decimated Napoleon's army, with over 300,000 casualties. The disastrous retreat from Moscow led to widespread desertion, with only 10,000 soldiers remaining loyal to Napoleon. The failure in Russia marked a turning point in Napoleon's fortunes, as European powers sensed his weakness and began to unite against him. Explore the complex emotional associations of brown, from feelings of comfort and reliability to boredom and lack of excitement, and why it's more than just an earthy color. Brown is the least favorite color among 45% of people in a YouGov survey, yet it's also a comfort color. Brown is associated with feelings of reliability, stability, and warmth, evoking a sense of coziness and comfort. The color brown is closely tied to nature, with 70% of people linking it to earth, soil, and wood. In branding, brown is often used to convey a sense of ruggedness, authenticity, and approachability. Think UPS and Hershey's. However, brown can also evoke feelings of boredom, dullness, and lack of excitement, especially in design and art. Examining the case of a woman known as CS, who is one of the most documented cases of prosopagnosia and has been studied by researchers for over 20 years, CS, a woman with prosopagnosia, cannot recognize her own face in the mirror. Her condition is so severe that she mistakes her husband for a stranger daily. Researchers have studied CS for over 20 years, making her a unique case study. CS's brain shows no activity in the fusiform gyrus, the face recognition area. Despite her condition, CS has developed coping mechanisms to recognize people. CS's case has greatly contributed to the understanding of face blindness and its effects. Discover the secret skills of stars like Natalie Portman's fluency in 5 languages and Danny DeVito's talented tap dancing feat. Natalie Portman is fluent in 5 languages, including Hebrew, English, French, Japanese, and Arabic. Danny DeVito has been tap dancing since he was 10 years old and even performed on Broadway. Halle Berry is a skilled martial artist, holding a black belt in karate and judo. Ryan Gosling is a talented musician, having played the piano since he was 12 years old. Mayim Bialik, aka Amy Farrah Fowler, has a PhD in neuroscience from UCLA. Geena Davis is an Olympic-level archer and was a semi-finalist for the 1,996 Olympic team.